BrenTech, yeah, where tech is made simple. So 4 years ago, a developer called Felix Reiserberg, and I hope I've got that pronunciation right, released Windows 95 as an Electron app. Now recently, he has rolled out a new version of Windows 95 as an Electron app, which can be run on any Windows, Mac or Linux system. So if you are feeling like a blast from the past and would like to run and try out Windows 95, then all we need to do is head over to GitHub. And I will leave a link to this page in the description for easier reference if you are interested. And this is where he maintains and develops his Windows 95 Electron app. Now, he says this is Windows 95 running in an Electron app. Yes, it is the full thing. And that's just a screenshot giving you a general idea. And does it work? Yes, quite well actually. He says on Mac OS, Windows and Linux. Bear in mind that this is written entirely in JavaScript, so please adjust your expectations, and I do agree with him on that one. Does it run Doom or my other favorite game? He says you likely will be better off with an actual virtualization app, but the short answer is yes. And yeah, we have the different download links. So that's for Windows, Mac and Linux. And for Windows, you can download the actual installer or the standalone. I decided to use the standalone because I didn't want to install it onto my actual system. So I downloaded the installer, and once that was downloaded, I just had to head over to my download location. I had to unzip the folder, and once it was unzipped, I clicked on the application Windows 95, and that launches the so-called virtual OS of Windows 95 on my Windows 11 device. Now I'm going to run Windows 95 in the actual window. I'm not going to make it full screen because it's clashing a bit with my aspect ratio of my actual device's screen. So just to start Windows 95, you just click on that little toggle in the middle, and there we go. We have the legacy version of Windows 95. Now just a bit of brief history. My first computer I worked on was a ZX Spectrum, where we had to use a tape recorder to load programs with a tape. And then my actual first Windows operating system and Windows PC ran Windows 95. So for me, this is a bit of a trip down memory lane. And so just to fiddle around, by the way, first of all, if you want to lock or unlock your mouse, you must just hit escape on your keyboard, and then you can actually use your actual device's mouse. And if you want to toggle full screen, you can, but as you can see, it looks horrendous, so I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this video. And you have a couple of other options you can fiddle around with at the top, just to configure the actual app. And if we head to the start menu, just to give a bit of a idea of what Windows 95 was like back in the day, in case you were unaware. This is what the legacy control panel used to look like, with all the different options, and some of these options are still around in the modern day versions of Windows, right up until the current Windows 11 version 22H2. And let's just go to some other programs. Let's go to accessories, games, and let's launch Minesweeper. And there we go, we have Minesweeper. And then just one more, just to give you, just a demonstration for the purpose of this video. Accessories, and let's launch Paint. And that's the old Paint, which has been around basically, as I have said in previous videos, since the initial launch of Windows basically. Now if we head to our computer, this is what the computer used to look like back in Windows 95. There's our C drive with our program files and so on. And if we right click, let's have a look at some of these properties. 800 megabytes free space, 220 used, and yeah, we have some tools. Disk cleanup utility still around in modern day versions of Windows, so that has stood the test of time, and you get the idea. So that's basically Windows 95 running as an Electron app, and that's by developer Felix Reiserberg. And just wanted to show you this in case you were interested, and if you felt like a bit of a trip down memory lane and a blast from the past. And then if you want to just exit the actual app, just hit escape on your keyboard, so you bring up your actual device's mouse, and you can just click on that, and that'll exit out the app. And as mentioned, I will leave a link to this GitHub page where you can come check this out for yourself and download Windows 95 and run it on your current device. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.